Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your district.
Well, my district is 8B, which is north of the Twin Cities, about an hour and a half by driving. And it's Kanabec County and southern Pine County from, I would say, Sandstone south. And then we cover 3 townships in Isanti, in northern Isanti County, Dalbo, Maple Ridge, and Stanchfield, and the city of Braham. So it's a big, geographically, it's a very big area. As far as myself, I'm a resident of Mora. I've lived there, well, going, I guess, over 30 years now. Raised our children there. I have a wife, Barb, and we have 4 children who are grown. And myself, I'm a real estate appraiser. I have my own business there, and I've been doing that for about 20 years.
Well, what led you to run for state representative?
Sure. I think the major thing was watching every year. I have been involved in local government. I was the mayor in Mora there for a while, and served on the city council, and currently I'm on the county board in Kanabec County, which I'll be resigning after the first year. But just watching the legislature in action over the past few years motivated me to get involved, because I saw that some of the problems that we've had in the state of Minnesota don't seem to be really getting solved every time the biennium ends. And generally you hear that, well, next year or next biennium we'll have to get to that problem. And I think that's having a bad effect on state government. I think it's having a bad effect on individuals and businesses that are trying to either run their business or run their lives in Minnesota. So we want to try and correct that, and I guess that's the major reason I got involved.
If you could offer up the first bill of the session, what would it be?
I don't think I'm going to have that opportunity, but I think the gist of your question is, what is the most important things we have to tackle in the legislature? And of course we know that there's been a big change in both the Senate and the House, and we also are going to have a governor of a different party. So as far as the first thing I would offer up would be maybe a framework for trying to resolve some of these questions in the budget. There's a lot of different aspects to the budget, but I would say trying to get started on that process, because I think that's what's motivating a lot of the people that did run for the first time and that have been elected, is to try and do something to get that under control.
When the end of session finally rolls around in May, what will determine whether or not you have been a successful legislator?
Well, I can't predict the future, but I think if our legislature, speaking of both bodies, the House and the Senate, if we've been able to work together and work with the governor to improve the situation as far as not only the budget, which I spoke about, but also to try and get us on a path towards a more stable future, so that each department, though, we're always going to have this conflict of, where we're going to spend money, what we should do for the future. But if we can get that on a more steady path, then I think it'll be a successful year.
If you could sit down and have a conversation with anyone living or deceased, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
Well, I mean, my parents have been deceased for a long time. I'd naturally like to talk to them. If you're talking a historical figure, there's many people that come to mind in the history of our country, whether it's George Washington, the father of our country, or Abraham Lincoln. Any of those historical figures, I think it would be very interesting to do that, because I think, in reading history, I think we have a short memory. And, we're caught up in our own world today. And I think it would be interesting to go over the principles of our founding of our country and just be reminded of what are the things that made our country great.
I've reached the end of my questions. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, or something that you would like to add?
Not really, except that I'm very honored to represent my district, and the campaign started about a year ago now. This was in December of 2010, but It's been it was a long campaign, and we're really, myself, and I know I speak for all the other members of the Republicans in the House, that we're very much looking forward to January and to have the opportunity to try and do what we can to make a difference.
Well, thank you for sitting and talking with us.
Thank you.